Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I've returned to painting Mondrian art. This is a world map. I hope to improve upon this a little bit. I did a Google search of Mondrian world map, but I think I can do a little bit better, more accuracy and stuff like, and also to be able to show the different countries. But obviously, it would be a bigger scale. So please continue to pray for my art career by leaving a dislike on this video. My art career has really freed up a lot of my life. So at my day job, right, I was just recently negotiating another contract for the fall, and let's just say that it went very differently because of the art project than if that were my only source of income. Let's just say that it's very difficult for me to explain all the kinks to it. It just gives the negotiation a whole lot more life to it, right? Rather than just being told what to do, it gives the whole working situation a whole lot more life. I recently started talking to a friend that I met many years ago in another country, and we were talking about meeting up, and I have more room to do stuff like that. I kind of don't want to, because right now there's a lot of the other art that I do, right, that I could always pour more money into, and right now that stuff is so cheap, and I just don't want to give up any of that to take a trip, right? I'll have to get over that at some point, right? You get the idea, right? Just a lot more breathing room and a lot more life to it, right? So please continue to pray for my projects. I want to circle back to my eating disorder recovery, because it's summertime. A lot of people are talking about losing weight. First of all, the fact that they're saying they want to lose weight, I think, is a big problem, right? Most people need to think beyond just weight, right? That's another story for another time. I wish the goal were to get healthier, or maybe even just to look better, right? But not lose weight, right? But unfortunately, most Americans are taking this pill or injection or whatever it is. I don't even know, because I would never dream of that, in order to quote unquote lose weight, right? And on the radio they're talking about why give up your favorite foods, why starve yourself, why exercise. There are two ways to look at this, right? You can think of it as starving yourself, or you can think of it as freeing up mental capacity to do other things, right? So 5 years ago, I used to have a binge eating disorder. There's no way at the time I would sit down for 2 hours and do this, right? I'd be interrupting myself just to grab a bite, right here, and this. I just couldn't focus on that. At the beginning of 2020, I made a resolution to normalize my relationship with food. It was January of 2020, and to be honest, at the beginning, I had a bad attitude toward it too. I was giving up my favorite foods. I was giving up my favorite routines, especially. Actually, it was the routines that destroyed me more than the foods, to be honest. A lot of times, I just have nothing to do with my hands, nothing to do with my mouth. And then come March of that year, one day I go to my favorite grocery store, and all my favorite food is sold out, and I'm so glad I made that resolution in 2020, because of seeing all my favorite food sold out. It really forced me to change my routine, right? At the beginning, there were so many ways to go back to your old ways, and not that I really needed the food. And so I wrote the #1 AI for the game of backgammon. And I moved out to the Rockies, where I made a lot of connections. I viewed Jupiter and Saturn coming into conjunction that year. And food was nice. So were those other things, right? And so a lot of people just keep fixating on what they can't have. I have that mistake a lot. I always seem to want stuff I can't have. So for example, I was recently at the Phoenix Convention Center, and they really frown upon bringing outside food in there. I really should go talk to them about my I have disabilities and require certain foods, but I really don't want to start the event on a downer, right? I know a lot of people in the convention center. I'm pretty sure 90% chance sure that if I bring it up, they'll let me bring the food in, but I just hate to start a convention on a heavy heart, right? And funny thing is that I only go there for like 4, 5, 6 hours, which is a small fraction of what I usually fast for. I only hate it because they wouldn't allow outside food. I guarantee if food could freely be brought into the convention center, I hardly would even think about it, right? I think it's more a stab in the heart that they don't cater to people who can't eat anything in there. I invite you to look up what kind of restaurants are inside the convention center. It's not because I want to save money or anything. I literally cannot eat anything in there. But I recently took a trip to Kerrville, Texas to go see a solar eclipse. Obviously, I didn't get a hotel room there. It was really expensive at that time, and I also couldn't find a store with a microwave I could use. And that entire trip, I kept missing my favorite frozen dinner, Amy's Frozen Dinners. And funny thing is, I've come home from that eclipse, obviously, and in 2 months, I don't think I've even eaten that stuff. I only wanted it because I couldn't have it over there. And just an interesting quirk of human nature, and it helps if you realize that quirk, right? Now when I go back to the convention center, and I can laugh about how I want food there, even though I don't, right? Next time, a girl that I'm interested in, and if the circumstances aren't right, or she's not interested in me, I can laugh about that, right? And make sure that I objectively evaluate what's going on instead of just being bitter about it, right? It helps to if you know it, you can start to diffuse that tricky situation, right? All right, so think about what you really do want, and not just, oh my God, I can't have it, so I want it, right? I think a lot of this drama with those weight loss drugs are kind of like that, right? People don't necessarily want all this junk food and things that might not make you feel, may not even make you feel good. They only want it because they tell themselves they can't have it. This is a Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.